in the traditions of the pure nature, such as removing the unwanted hair, the underarm, and the pubic areas. And that applies to everyone, male and a female. And trimming the mustache and saving the beard.
Saving but not shaving.
Exactly, saving but not shaving. Unfortunately, during Hajj, you see people are very careful and very keen to shave clean on every morning, even on the day of Arafah. I'm sure they don't know that saving the beard is the tradition of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and all the prophets before him. And there is a clear command for him. So at least while you're taking this journey and you're not worried about your job and those who are looking at you, begin this tradition by saving your beard. A person must take a shower before assuming the intention of ihram to appear clean and to be pure. The Prophet ﷺ used to take a shower with the intention of performing ghusl prior to assuming the intention of ihram, prior to entering Mecca, and prior to going to Arafah. Also, the mother of the believers, may Allah be pleased with her, narrated that she used to apply fragrance to the body of the Prophet ﷺ before commencing in a state of ihram. Very, very important to notice the difference, that a person after taking a shower and he's all clean may apply the fragrance to his body, not to her body. A woman is not allowed to wear any fragrance or perfume, especially because she's going to be in the public. But a man, it's recommended for him to apply the fragrance or the cologne to their bodies, as the mother of the believers used to do to the Prophet ﷺ. Make sure that none of that fragrance would come on the clothes of ihram. It's only to the body, not to the clothes of ihram. This has to be very, very clear. Afterward, a person would wear the clothes of ihram, which are two white clean towels, one to be wrapped around the waist, which is known as al-izar, and the second is to be placed on the shoulders, which is known as al-rida. That reminds us of the same day that we were born and the day that people die and they get trapped in their shroud and be buried. Very, very simple uniform. Everybody's dressed the same. Just make sure that the izar especially is covering the awra, which is from the belly button to the knees. Many people neglect that and they let their izar fall below or beneath their belly button or the navel, which is awra that has to be covered. And nothing will be worn underneath all of that, not even an undershirt or an under izar. Men would dress like that, as we see in the picture. But we see in to the left side that somebody who's wearing the ihram this way. This is very, very common understanding. Once you make ihram, you cover both shoulders, and we will get to know as when a person will be recommended to uncover the right shoulder. But while walking in the streets, while praying, cover both shoulders. What about a woman? What does she wear during ihram? She would dress in her regular everyday clothes, clean, pure, not perfumed, not attractive to strangers, very simple clothes. And of course, she would avoid wearing any fragrance. That would be her ihram. The ihram of a woman actually is in her face and hands. So that a woman who's normally wearing the niqab, covering the face except the eyes, and she normally wears gloves, once she assumes the intention of ihram to perform either umrah or hajj or both, she must uncover her face and not wear gloves. You're going to say, but that covering the face is recommended. Some scholars consider it as mandatory. Yes, that is true. However, in a state of ihram, a woman must uncover her face and not wear gloves, except in a case that she's seen by men or passing by men. In this case, she might lower anything from top of her head to cover her face, and she should actually do that. As al-Mu'mineen Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, narrated that they uncovered their faces and their hands in a state of ihram. And whenever a company of men would pass by, they would lower their sidal to cover their faces from them.
Well, while we still have time in this episode, let's also talk about something that you mentioned before, the places and the times of entering the state of ihram. Of course, today we fly on an airplane. Some people take boats. Some people, I guess, still go by land. But what can you do? How do you know exactly when you're supposed to enter this state?
Well, the previous recommended acts should be done at home. Okay? When we study the term al-mawaqit, this is a very important term in the process of Hajj. Al-mawaqit are two kinds. There are mawaqit appointed to time-wise and place-wise. Al-mawaqit al-zamaniyya, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated in Surah Al-Baqarah, Al-Hajj ashhurun ma'lumat. The performance of Hajj may be done during certain months. And the word ashhur is plural in Arabic. This is Shawwal, the month that follows Ramadan immediately, the month of Dhul Qa'dah, and the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. The actual Hajj will be done during Dhul Hijjah, but a person may intend the performance of Umrah, which will be accompanied with Hajj during any of these 2 months, till the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. This is the mawaqit az-zamaniyya, time-wise. The appointed places, the Prophet ﷺ appointed certain areas that a person who is planning to go for Hajj or Umrah should not cross or pass by without being in a state of ihram, wherein the ihram commencing in the condition and in the state of ihram and making the talbiyah. That will take us to a very important practice, that if a person is flying versus a person is traveling by car, by ship, by any means. As we see on the screen, that those appointed places, Al-Juhfa, this is a place for people who are coming either via air or land from Egypt, Asham, or Morocco. Dhul Hulayfa, this is an appointed place for people who are coming to Mecca from the direction of Al-Madinah. Any person would pass by this direction, by this appointed place, have to assume the intention of ihram at that exact place. That arq for people who are coming from the direction of Al-Iraq. Yalamlam for the pilgrims or the people who are coming for Umrah from the direction of Al-Yaman. So, if a person is flying from the United States, for instance, coming to perform Umrah or Hajj, they should not wait until they land in Jeddah, then they assume the intention of ihram. No, it is a must that a person would say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, either bi Umrah or Hajj or both at that appointed place. If you're flying, how do you figure out that you're passing by or in line with this place? Well, many flights, the pilot would announce that we are passing by the miqat, such as Saudi Airlines. If this is the case, you will prepare yourself before getting on board, keeping your ihram clothes on, and once you hear that word, by making sure that you're awake, once you get close, prepare yourself. So once the pilot would announce we're passing by the miqat, you would say labbaik Allahumma labbaik and make your intention. Similarly, if you're passing by land or by ship, but it is not allowed to save your talbiyah and your intention of ihram till you arrive to Jeddah airport. Another very interesting advice, if you're, for instance, coming from Europe, the States, through Egypt. In this case, you don't have to worry about putting on your ihram clothes at your beginning destination or at your home. Why? Because you're going to fly, and when you land at your transit area, for instance, Cairo airport, there you can change and put your ihram clothes on. And once again, while you are on board, the captain would announce, we're now passing by the miqat. So you would say, labbaik Allahumma labbaik.
Thank you, Shaykh. It clarifies a lot to hear that it is really this uttering of the talbiyah, of the intention, that really kind of makes it official. So that cleared up a lot for me. I'm sure it cleared up a lot for our viewers, but we're out of time for this episode. There's plenty more to discuss, so please stay tuned for our next episode, and we'll be back then, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك